Alright, today we are talking about my everyday carry for May 2026, and in this month I actually have been using, not only in this month, but it's kind of overlapping with the last months as well, I've been using two sling bags. First and foremost, this is the current one that I'm using. This is the Amber Wolf's Alpha Pack, I believe Alpha Pack. I always get all of these names a little bit confused. 1.8 liter capacity sling bag, which is amazing, that I will talk about in just a second. And this is the one that I have been using, and it was a little bit overlapping over the last 2 months. This is the Black Ember Grip Sling 6 liter. And yeah, both of these bags I have been using as everyday carry. This one is a little bit out of the ordinary. For those of you who have been watching my previous videos, and I know that many of you are not subscribed to this channel, so maybe consider subscribing to this channel, helping me out a little bit. It's free, obviously, subscription, but that's what YouTubers usually say. I don't know why they say it, but yeah, subscribing is free, but it will help out a lot. So if you are new, you probably don't know this, but those of you who have been watching my channels, you know that for my everyday carry, I tend to prefer 2.5 liter-ish sling bags to carry all of my essentials. I will get to all of my essentials in just a second after I talked about the Black Ember sling bag. So these two bags are completely out of the ordinary. 6 liters and 1.8 liters is something that I usually wouldn't use, but I wanted to try it out, especially since I've been really impressed by the TKX or TKS sling that I used a while back. I really like that sling bag from Black Ember, and I thought, yeah, why not try this out, especially since I've gotten the ROG Ally handheld device. I won't be carrying this much outside of my home. Maybe also check out my second channel, you know, the Bow -2, where I really talk a lot about these kinds of devices, and I really love this, especially because I have been playing Hogwarts Legacy and The Witcher 3 currently. Really great device. I will get to that in a second. So that is one of the reasons why I kind of wanted to try out a bigger sling bag and see if it would work for my day-to-day use case. So first and foremost, let's talk a little bit about the build quality and choice of materials. Black Ember is amazing when it comes down to build quality and choice of materials, in my humble opinion. Also, in combination with their design language, these fabrics, these AquaGuard zippers with these Hyperlon zipper pulls that you can actually lock together to prevent theft, together with their design language, I feel these are extremely unique looking bag. I can tell them apart out of a sea of black bags right away, and they have this somewhat, let's say, futuristic, dystopian vibe to them, most of their bags. And the same holds true with this grip sling. I really dig the look, and again, the build quality, there's nothing to kind of complain about. These sling bags or their bags will hold up a lifetime. They have really good hardware, these aluminum G-hooks, stitching in combination with the Hyperlon. It's amazing. If you're looking for a really high quality made bag, you cannot, in my humble opinion, go wrong with Black Ember. And then if you also look for a more urban, almost futuristic vibe, Black Ember to me is amazing. So you have a top handle here that actually, with the size of this, is actually quite useful. If you can grab it, you can actually also attach stuff here, loop it through. And before we go to the compartments, let's talk about the shoulder strap. The shoulder strap is, for my personal opinion, a little bit more beefier and heftier than what I usually would like in an everyday carry sling bag. But because I usually have smaller sling bags, I usually like them a little bit less bulkier. But because this is 6 liters and you could put a lot of stuff in here, having a little bit more support with the shoulder strap is quite welcome. I did like the shoulder strap, but, and I will get to that in just a second, it's one of the reasons why I don't really like 6-liter sling bags as an everyday carry bag. So the attachment points where the shoulder strap is attached is also quite hefty, kind of giving you a little bit more ease of mind that this will kind of carry all of your items. But again, it adds to the bulk, and yeah, in just a second I will get to that. You have a front compartment that lacks organization, unfortunately. It has a lot of space to kind of accommodate the items that I wanted to accommodate, but it lacks organization. So what I actually used this for, this was the space for all of these small items like lip balm, power bank, my Gerber dime. I will get to that in just a second. All of these smaller items that I use for everyday carry. This was the compartment where I kind of stored that, and because there's no organization, everything was kind of rumbling around, and I didn't like it that much, to be quite honest. At some point I kind of switched it out and put those small items to the main compartment, to which I will get in just a second. But then this compartment kind of got lost because I didn't really know how to utilize it properly. So I did, in the end, after I kind of reorganized everything, I had only fresh doggy bags and my key inside, my Orbit key in here. And I felt the space was a little bit wasted because of the lack of organization. So going into the main compartment that you can open kind of so. It's not 100% clamshell, but you have this dual zipper that goes all around here. And when you open it up on this AquaGuard zipper, you have this wide opening. Here you have lots of organization. So in the end, I actually kind of tried to organize everything in these pockets. Works really well to organize all of your small items in these slots. But again, I kind of felt, and this is just my own kind of perception of it, I kind of felt this front compartment was a little bit underutilized for my personal use case because I had so many small items and I kind of wanted them to be organized here in this quick access slot instead of having to open the main compartment all of the time, into which I actually stored my DJI Pocket 3, which is currently filming me at the moment, my phone and stuff like that. So tech items that I really didn't want to, in air quotes, compromise by just having to open the main compartment just to get to those smaller tidbits that I might need in the heat of the moment. So for example, I don't know, I'm in the store getting out of the grocery store, I want to use my disinfectant, and usually I would rather utilize one of these front pockets instead of going into the main compartment where my camera and my phone is. I know it's a little bit of a OCD kind of thing and everyone is different, but for me, I did feel like I rather have this front pocket utilized a little bit better by having more organization. But if you can, or if you don't mind it, you can everything organize here quite well. You have another zippered pocket here, maybe for your passport or documents. And this is something that I will get in just a second. Then you have another slot here in the back, which is perfect for maybe a tablet like an iPad mini or your phone, just a separation to kind of keep it separately from everything that is in here. But this brings me to what this could perfectly be. This is the perfect personal item. So you go with a carry-on bag and you kind of want to have a personal item that is a little bit bigger than a regular sling bag. Because, for example, maybe you want to go on a flight and have your gaming device in here. It actually, the ROG Xbox Ally actually fits perfectly inside the sling bag and would actually be somewhat protected from the elements, not necessarily from bumps because there is not that much padding, so some of your sticks could be a little bit exposed to kind of bumping stuff against it. But for traveling, this would be really cool. Have your ROG Ally in here, your passport safely in there, everything else that you might need, like a power bank, I don't know, disinfectants, chapstick in the front. Passport, as I said, safely here, phone maybe in this one. This would be perfect for a personal item bag when you're traveling, carry on only. So again, for everyday carry, this was a little bit too big and not as well organized as I would have liked. Plus the shoulder strap, whilst being very comfortable, also got in my way a little bit with my, I'm still wearing my winter jacket because although we had a couple of sunny days, we are back to rain and 5 degrees Celsius. So I have my winter coat on and I did notice that this strap got a little bit in my way. Yeah, but other than that, really great bag. Not an everyday carry bag, but I believe a really cool personal item, or if you have to carry a little bit more items, maybe a camera, a small, well not a small, maybe a flat camera or a camera where you detach the lens, put the camera body here, the lens next to it. This would work really well for that. So that was the Black Ember Grip Sling 6 liters. Now, getting to the complete opposite, because as I said, usually I like 2.5 liter sling bags for my everyday carry. This is a 1.8 liter sling bag that honestly has so many unique features. It really surprised me and I applaud the designer for thinking a little bit out of the box. It has a couple of trade-offs that I personally don't really fancy that much, but I totally respect some of the feature and design decisions with this bag. First and foremost, this is an X-Pac fabric on the outside in this bright yellow. It is actually also available in orange, green, white, gray, black. And those of you who know me, I really don't like black bags. I like them, but I'm kind of bored of them. And having the option for such bright colors is amazing. I really like this yellow design. And honestly, this bag will be in my rotation, not necessarily as my everyday carry bag, but as my motorcycle bag. If I have this on my hips, on my back, this High-Vis yellow is amazing to make me a little bit more noticeable for any cars. So you have this X-Pac. I really like X-Pac. I know there is a split decision. Some people like it, some people don't. But because X-Pac gives you so many options in terms of colors, I love X-Pac quite a lot. Before going to the inside, you can actually detach the shoulder straps, which has one of my favorite buckles. The V-buckle style Fidlock are for me the best Fidlocks because not only are they easy to close due to their magnets, but they are secure. To open these, you actually have to pull this lever and then it opens up. Other Fidlocks or some Fidlocks are easy to close, but unfortunately also very easy to accidentally open. This happened to me when I was on my motorcycle once, many years ago, which is the reason I only use sling bags with V-buckle style Fidlocks or Cobra buckles if I'm riding my motorcycle. This is so much more secure and accidentally opening this is less likely. So this strap is really cool. It is a design where one side is shorter than the other side. I actually had to switch this because I like to carry my sling bags on my left shoulder. And so when I put this on, so let's go to this camera, I do it like so. I have the longer side, go like so, close it up, pull it to the front. That's how I kind of attach sling bags to my body. When you get this, the shorter side will be on this side and the longer side on this. And more importantly, these G-hooks will be in an orientation that is a little bit secure. So the other way around. So the opening now is on the top. If you switch it around, that is what happens. So when you get it, the shorter one is on this side. And as you can see already here, it's a little bit weird because you have the big pack all over your shoulders like so, and then you kind of pull it over. That was a little bit weird to me. So I changed it out, which meant the G-hooks are in a wrong, in air quotes, orientation. But in practice, it isn't such a big deal. If you take these off, you actually also have the option to use this on your, for example, on your belt. If you want to. I don't know, maybe some people like to do that, put this on their belt and have it directly on your pants belt. That is possible. You have two attachment points. Here I attached carabiner from Gravel, where I always kind of keep the dog toy of my dog Woody back here. Thumbs up for Woody. He's chilling over there. Then, yeah, that's the outside. You actually have AquaGuard zippers here, which we'll get to that in a second. AquaGuard zippers obviously will help to prevent from water getting inside. But the brand actually has a very creative way to have quick access to some of your items. You have two lips here in the front and in the back, and these are magnetic openings. So you can open this up and access the items in the front compartment quickly, or here in the back you can access your phone. I have not my phone in here, but fresh doggy bags and disinfectant. So let's open this up. You can open up this pouch, which actually would be, if you detach the straps, also really good everyday carry tech pouch or EDC pouch inside your backpack. You open this dual zipper up, and then you have actually a flat clamshell opening pouch, which I love. So although there is a trade-off. If you open this up too much, then obviously if it's in front of your body, then it will just flop open, all of your stuff will fall to the ground. So be a little bit careful about that. But obviously if you open it just slightly, then it's a regular top loading bag. But having the option to open this up clamshell style is really cool. You can see right away, you can really neatly organize all of your items. I actually was able to fit my DJI Pocket 3 with its little tripod in here. You need to kind of open this up completely, put it in here and then close it up, zipper it up. It will fit. If you don't open it up completely, you will have a little bit difficulties depending on what's inside these pouches to get the DJI Pocket past these items, but I can confirm it will be a tight squeeze, but the DJI Pocket 3 will fit in here. Currently, I'm using the DJI Osmo Nano. This is my vlogging device. Again, check out my second channel where I do a lot of vlogs. I also have the DJI Mic Mini. This is the first generation because I really like this combination of being able to vlog stealthy with this little combination of the DJI Nano and the Mic Mini. And by the way, I will link all of these items in the description below. Those are affiliate links. With those you won't pay more, but you will support this channel with a small kickback of that sale. And if you do so, thank you very much. So DJI Nano with the DJI Mic Mini, first two items inside this. Then I have the Nitecore NB Air 5000 milliampere hours. This is perfect to give my phone a quick boost or charge the DJI Nano. Most of these items you have seen in my other everyday carry videos, but I feel A, you can see what fits inside this bag, and B, more importantly, I feel it's a testament how well these items work. I mean, this power bank has been in my everyday carry for many months and I have not changed this out. So that gives you an idea of how well or how much I like this. I use the Secrid wallet. I switch between the Ekster wallet and Secrid wallet. In this case, the Secrid wallet did fit a little bit better, as you can see here. Ekster has a little bit more height. While it did fit inside here, I felt it was getting a little bit in my way. You have a key leash here, and the beauty of this slot, there is actually a MagSafe magnetic ring here. So the designer actually intended to have a power bank with a MagSafe adapter in this pocket, put it against this ring, and then you would be able to store your phone or your iPhone in here for MagSafe charging. I didn't utilize this because I don't have an iPhone, and my Samsung Fold 5, which is I love this device. This is so thick, it didn't really fit in that slot that well, and it doesn't have a MagSafe case on it, so I didn't utilize that feature. But I felt this feature is such a unique thing that I personally have not seen in other devices or in other bags before. Then here we have two zippered slots that are separated and is mesh. Here I have antihistamines as allergy season, eye drops, so some medication. In here I have a fiber cloth to clean my glasses, but also wet wipes for my glasses that are in there. Then you can access this front slot that I just showed you, where you can access it via this magnetic insert. Here we have hand lotion, chapstick, and there are some, I hope you can see this, some elastic bands that keep everything very organized. So in one of these bands I have the Gerber dime, love this little multi-tool. Then a Nitecore USB-C to USB-C, very short but perfect cable to utilize with the NBR. And then my secondary emergency flashlight, which is the Ruben G5. I utilized the, hold on, did I have it on? No, it's still full power. The Ruben G5 is just my emergency light. The flashlight that I utilize in my jacket's pockets when I'm walking my dog is the Ruben X2 Pro. That has been my favorite light, and that's always with me. And this is just when maybe the battery of that X2 is out, or when my wife and I walk together and she maybe needs a flashlight, then this is the emergency light. And that's basically everything that I have inside this pocket, or basically in my everyday carry. And as I said, these elastics are perfect. So one on the side is perfect to fit the Ruben G5 like so. Then next to it I have the Gerber dime. I put that, let me just show it to you. Put that in here in this elastic. It works really well to organize all of these small little items. So this Amber Wolf, and my legs are falling asleep, sorry. So this sling bag is I'm sorry. Hi. This bag, sorry, my dog is right in front of the camera. Hi. So this bag is extremely well made. I do like the choices of materials. As I said, X-Pac is one of my favorite fabrics because you have the options for so many different colors, and I really like this yellow. This will be my motorcycle sling bag in the future. I do love this clamshell opening and the way I can organize all of my items inside. Yes, with 1.8 liters, sometimes I feel my items are a little bit too cramped. When I have all of these items inside, I don't have any space to store my Samsung Fold 5 in here as well. So I kind of would have loved if this would be slightly bigger. A 2.5 liter capacity would have been perfect. The shoulder strap is amazing, especially with the Fidlock. The only thing, and that is what I mentioned previously when I talked about the AquaGuard zippers being known for water repellent and preventing stuff from getting inside. Truth to be told, while this is a good idea if you get into heavy rain, because this is just a magnetic flap and essentially isn't like an airtight connection. There is still the potential of water seeping inside eventually. So this is a trade-off that you really need to keep in mind. So if I would be on a motorcycle and if I would get into rain, I would be a little bit worried if I had, for example, my DJI Pocket 3 in here, which is not water resistant, which is not protected from the elements. If that would be in here and I would be getting into rain, while the AquaGuard zipper would protect the DJI Pocket, I would still be a little bit afraid that some water, especially when I would be on the highway, would get kind of pressed inside through the magnets into that compartment. That would be something that I would be a little bit worried about. It's probably not that big of a deal, but still something that I wanted to keep mentioning. But other than that, it's a really cool bag. And as I said, this will be in my rotation. This will be the bag that I will use on my motorcycle. I do like this a lot. And even if I wouldn't be using this as a sling bag, I would just detach the straps and then use it as a pouch. For that, this is pretty cool. And yeah, to kind of wrap this up, both of these sling bags are amazing. This not for everyday carry, but more for personal bag use when you're traveling or when you need to carry some more items on your day-to-day. And this is great as an everyday carry bag. Again, with 1.8 liters, maybe a little bit too small, but I do like this bag a lot. So yeah, what do you think about these two sling bags? Let me know in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed this video, maybe check out my everyday carry video from last month up here. YouTube thinks that you like the video down here. And don't forget to subscribe by clicking the button up here. That way we see each other in the next video. Thank you very much.